Hi, it's Kathy Hampton here from Wellside Retreats. How are you? I'm doing well, and I am back to share with you my sabbatical as well as my scouting of Portugal. So, if you have never seen me on video or social media, my name is Kathy Hampton from Wellside Retreats, a transformational destination retreat and life coaching service for Black women. I help women move away from what no longer serves them and move them toward what will serve them well. If you are someone who is interested in holistic wellness of body, mind, and spirit, this is the channel for you. I talk about all things wellness, how to stay well, how to be well, how to get well, how tools that will help you to uh, to take account of yourself and well-being. So today's video, well, first, before I start that, I'd like you to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell if you have not done so already. And that will let you know when I post another video and share some more information with you, for you. So this video is about my recent sabbatical, as well as it turned into a scouting trip for relocation abroad to Portugal. In Portugal is where I spent 77 days, almost 3 months in Portugal. And I'd like to share some information about my trip, as well as questions that I was asked along the way. I was asked quite a bit of a few questions while I posted on Instagram, as well as posting to Facebook. So with all of that posting, people wanted to know what I was doing, where I was, how I was feeling about it. And so today, that's what I'll do. But I want to first tell you about the benefits of my sabbatical, my career break, because that's what really this was all about. It was for me to take some time away from the hustle, the bustle of working. That's what sabbaticals are for. Mine was initially planned for 6 months. I ended up taking 3 months. I wish I could have done it longer, but it's going to be okay because I know now how to manage my time and not be on that hamster wheel. So the sabbatical took place in Portugal, where I first started in the town of Sintra, which is really a tourist town, but people do live there. And I decided I was going to take that first town, Sintra, uh, getting away from the city center, or the big city of Lisbon first, so that I could meet some locals and potentially use my little Portuguese that I had been learning. Sintra was beautiful. It was dreamy and almost fairy tale like. There are beautiful castles there. It's a cooler place because um, it's near lots of water, as well as, when I say lots of water, closer to the water, and has almost a forest-like feel. There's a large national park there. And there is an old part of Sintra, and then there is a new part of Sintra. And people live, work there, and they have their own city government. But it is a tourist destination due to the historical landmarks that are there all throughout this small city, small town, really. So that was where I started. From there, I was there for 3.5, almost 4 weeks. I moved to Lisbon, and Lisbon was all of that and more. It was beautiful. It was adventurous. It was hilly. The weather, while I was in Portugal in general, was beautiful. It felt like springtime most of the time. The sun was shining most of the time. There was an occasional rain shower. There was one night where the wind was really, really blowing, but it went away, and I awoke to sunshine and warmness. So I experienced really a good time to be in Lisbon during the months of January through March. They say that I experienced kind of the warmer, a warmness that is not typical of Portugal. So, um, Lisbon, I stayed in a neighborhood called Belém Ajuda, which is kind of moving away from the city, but still in Lisbon. And it was I stayed in a area that had mom and pop stores all around, busy little type of neighborhood where people got up early in the morning and went and shopped for bread or had coffee at cafes. Shop owners would be opening and sweeping their storefronts. There was a baker, a cleaners. There was a fishmonger or fish shop. There were 3 or 4 grocery stores around, plus vegetable markets all around. There was a nail shop. There was a tattoo parlor. It was great. I saw people living in their element, and I purposely chose that. And the reason I chose that was because I am considering moving abroad. So I wanted to live the life um, and experience neighbors, the culture of the country. So that answers actually one of the questions that I received, and that is why. Why are you there? What are you doing? So I was taking a sabbatical, and I was scouting for possible relocation. So the other area that I ended up in, the last city that I was in for a month, was was Porto. Porto is north of Lisbon, and also a very beautiful city. And within the city, a river runs through, the Douro River runs through in 2 parts of the Porto area, and that is Porto and Vila Nova de Gaia, or Gaia. So um, I was surrounded by water all the time. Portugal is on the west coast of Europe, and there's water up and down that coast as well as in the south. And the next question that I was asked that I'll address now is, what city did you like the best? Now, I was asked this question many, many times by people. I was called on the phone, what city do you like better? What city do you like better? I couldn't answer the question really until I got home to kind of compare what I liked and what I not didn't like, but what I found to be comfortable for me. And I'm going to say that I chose Porto. Porto is my pick for the most favorite city between Lisbon and Porto. The reason why, and I hope you can understand, that it was a feeling that I had while I was in Porto. It's very calm. The people were friendly. Um, Not to say that the people in Lisbon were not, but there was a welcomeness. There were people greeted me. People talked to me easily in Porto. That was in the neighborhoods, as well as in some of the tourist areas, the shop owners. So I'm gonna say that I felt more at home in Porto. I did really like Lisbon. There's lots to do, lots to see. There were people that I met there, a lot of expats there. And because I believe the there's a busyness about it. It is the capital of Portugal. There is a financial area, just like any other major city. Then there are different neighborhoods. Um, the I think it was more comfortable in Porto because I felt that I could walk around easier. Not to say that I didn't find Lisbon a problem. I did not. I can manage those hills now, but it just felt comfortable, and I was at ease, more at ease walking around in Porto. So that's I answered that question. That checks us off that question. Porto won for me, and I'll be telling you about a few more towns in a minute that I really liked. Um, so what was I doing? I answered that. What city did you like best, Lisbon or Porto? The other question that I got several times was, what is the Black community like? Well, the Black community in Portugal is a mixture of uh, Black people from all over the world. And I think people were trying to understand, and I don't know this because I didn't ask them a question back, was where are most of the Black African Americans, the Black people from America? Where what is that community like? If that is the question that you'd like to know the answer to, the Black community, African American community in Lisbon in particular, is growing. Quite a few people are relocating, touring, spending time there, just like me, doing a sabbatical in Lisbon. Um, but there are people from all over the world, Black people all over the world, Africa, Europe, Mexico, Brazil, all uh, in Portugal. And in Porto, I didn't see that many, um, as many Black people there as I did in Lisbon, but I met quite a few expats coming in to just arriving to Portugal, living in Porto, and had meetups with them. So and then the community of other Black and brown people are there. Indians, Asians, uh, Brazilians, all there in Portugal. I felt comfortable, and we as a people, Black people, are everywhere, and I didn't pick um, going to Portugal to actually spend time only with expats or Americans. Um, but I did, I was fortunate enough to meet up and spend time with some great Americans as well as African American people from the States in Portugal. So that I hope that answers that question for anyone wanting to know about the Black community in Portugal. The one thing that I wanted to highlight about the sabbatical was the amount of rest that I was able to take. It was key to the sabbatical. It was time that I took time for myself and cared for myself, and I did that. I didn't force um, get myself to get up and get out. I will say that learning when one has worked quite often in their life for long periods of time, they have to learn how to rest. And I actually had to learn that. My mind would say, you need to get up and get out. My body was telling me that I needed to lay down and rest. And I paid attention to myself and rested. If I didn't feel like getting out and getting my, getting my clothes on and fixing breakfast and doing all that stuff that you do when you're normally working. I didn't do it. That is key to taking a sabbatical, is getting rest or spending time not hustling, slowing down your pace. Because if you don't rest, you can't be good to yourself. Your body rejects the exhaustion. And I realized once I got there that I was exhausted and needed time off. And I am blessed, grateful that I have took time off and listened to myself to do that, so that I can be the person that I want to be and the person that I know that I can be. And that is someone who has lots of life to live still. So I encourage you to consider, if you are someone who has worked for some time, has not taken off a considerable amount of time except for the time that they give you on that annual calendar of vacation days. I want you to consider taking time off, taking a career break, taking taking an extended 2 weeks, 3 week vacation, if you can. It will do you well. It has done me well. And the purpose for me posting on Instagram or Facebook really is to share this journey, show the cultural differences and experiences that I have had, and I know that you can have if you want to. We can do anything that we want to do. We can make plans and experience the goodness that's in the world. Um, there are places that are beautiful, that can inspire you, and I share my stories, share my pictures, and share the experience so that others realize that they can do it too. And I hope that you will. Um, the other thing that I did was a lot of learning. I learned a lot of history of Portugal and what it has to offer, um, or the history of Portugal and its people and its culture. Um, and a lot of it was striking. Some of the history regarding the African diaspora, the slave trade that I did not know so much about, um, in particular as it relates to Portugal. So that was a good experience. Any knowledge that awakens you is a good experience, and that's what I had, and I received that. So I'm looking at notes so that I don't miss anything. I took some day trips, and I did that to see other parts of the country that are not so big. I was able to get on beautiful trains that moved fast, were clean, and took you to some of the smaller towns. And those towns included Espino, a town close to the ocean, a beach town. And I walked along the boardwalk and saw the Atlantic Ocean. Braga, which is one of the oldest towns or cities that was discovered, or I don't know, founded by Romans who came into Portugal, um, and basically created this city with 48 cathedrals or churches in this little town. It's a beautiful town. It's in the northern area of Minho. This is the area, Minho Valley, and it is very small and quaint, and the people are very friendly. It's cooler there, and so I wasn't expecting how cold it got going up north, but I went there. I went to Coimbra, which is a university town, and looked at university as well as one of the oldest, most pretty Baroque libraries they had on campus. And just spent a short period of time there. But I took day trips. I got out of the cities to experience something new and different. Took the ferry across the river in Lisbon, and there's just more to see. I didn't get to the Algarve, which is the southern part of Portugal with many towns there, and we'll have to do that another time. But the places that I saw were beautiful. One of my favorite beach areas is in Porto called Foz, Foz, or Foz, Foz, and spent a lot of time. I went there 2 times. 2 times to hang out at the beach. No, actually three times to hang out by the water. So, and I walked quite a bit. Walking gives you access like no other public transportation does, because you see things up close, personal, that you would miss if you were on a bus or in a car. So I walked quite a bit. And in another post, probably a blog post, I'll be sharing with you the comforts that I had with the shoes that I walked in on my travels. It makes a difference, those those creature comforts of shoes, of good lighting, a good bed, what all of that means while you're traveling. So I'll share that with you, as well as some clothing. Um, uh, uh, what feels good on your skin as you move about um, traveling. So I want to encourage you to consider getting some coaching or advice. And the questions that I was asked while I was away made me want to share this with you, that I did not do all of this alone. Because I had questions on or to how to plan a sabbatical, how to travel, because I am a rookie traveler, international traveler. How do I do that? How do I sustain myself as a digital nomad, which I now am because I am part of the Great Resignation? How do I do that? Well, I didn't do this alone. I was inspired by, and I'm going to dedicate this video to Lou B. Frierson, who back in 1990, no, 1989, told me, you need to travel by yourself. You need to go and travel to get away. And I didn't ever take her up on that. But back in 2018, I met and looked up how to travel inexpensively. How could I do that? And came upon Stephanie Perry, who I'm going to leave information about these next 4 people in the comments for you to contact for advice on traveling abroad, relocation, taking a career break, and getting your money right, or as they call it, your FU money right, so that you can travel. The first person was Stephanie Perry, and who teaches women or helps women, Black women, how to move abroad or to take a sabbatical. So Stephanie was the first person that I received information from and received coaching from, and continue to receive coaching from. Roshida Dowe teaches you how to plan a career break so that you can live blissfully. And she does it with a plan that is so easy and not, so, oh, I don't know. I just found the course to be something that where you don't have to stress over. And that settled me down in my planning. So that was Roshida Dowe. And then there's Adalia Aborisade. Adalia helps you get your money right so that you can move around the world with confidence. Adalia also um, is a financial educator and helps you learn how to invest your money. Um, I suggest her as a resource also. And then finally, someone I'm working with and have attended her mastermind is Wanda Duncan. Wanda Duncan has helped me also with confidence in this new lifestyle that I'll be talking about in future uh, uh, YouTube videos about becoming a digital nomad and not stressing over sustaining yourself by creating a life that you want, creating the life that you want that will sustain you. So, Stephanie Perry, Roshida Dowe, Adalia Aborisade, as well as Wanda Duncan have been some of the people that I attribute to helping me along the way. And that's what coaches do. They also provide community and support. And other women, there are thousands of other women who are doing this thing to relieve the stress um, of working um, unhappily, unsatisfied, and trying to find fulfillment in their lives. And so that is where I want to leave that information for you in the box. And please send me your comments, questions. So that I can assist you. If you want other resources for a for self-awareness, tools to get you started along that way, along the journey of fulfillment, my website is wellsideretreats.care. You can reach me by email at info@wellsideretreats.com. All of this will be in the description, and also on Instagram and Facebook. You can find Wellside Retreats for more information. I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to you liking, subscribing, sharing this video with others, ringing the notification bell if you wouldn't mind, in case when I upload a new video, you'll be able to see it. So I hope that I have unpacked my sabbatical and my scouting trip to Portugal with you, and you feel inspired to consider doing something similar if you want. This is only something that you want. It was something that I wanted and started planning for, just wrote it down back in 2012. And I'm just acting upon it now. But things take time. We're all on our own journeys, and it came about when it was supposed to take place. It happened when it happened, and I'm blessed and grateful that I listened to myself, I listened to my body, and I listened to my mind. I encourage you to get still, spend some time out in nature, write some things down in a journal or on a piece of paper, and make a plan for how you want your life to be fulfilled. So, with that said, be well and stay well. Thanks so much for watching, and share this with someone you may know who may be interested in either a sabbatical or moving abroad. All right, bye.